Hello and welcome back to the Cars.co.za YouTube channel. I'm David Taylor, and with me in the passenger seat is Jean from Bosch. And in today's episode of the Bosch How to Buy a Car, we're going to tell you all you need to know about used Hilux ownership, what can go wrong, cost of ownership, parts pricing, and much, much more. And remember, if you want to buy a Toyota Hilux, Cars.co.za is the place to go. We have over 2,300 Hiluxes for sale. Let's get into the nitty-gritty about the Bucky. Wait, it's not a Bucky, it's a Hilux. Music?
Cars.co.za, Cars.co.za.
All right, Jean, what should I look out for when I'm doing a test drive of this vehicle?
So the obvious noises, any type of sounds that sound abnormal or loud, whining sounds, clucking sounds, suspension knocking sounds when you're going over bumps. You'd obviously be looking at your gauges to make sure all your gauges are working fine. The one thing that we forget to do is to before you start the vehicle, switch the key on, see is all the warning lights there, that they might not have been disconnected at some stage by someone.
Does that happen?
I've seen it, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
So we make sure the engine light, ABS light, airbag light, they're all there, and then when you start the vehicle, they must all go away. If they're not there on ignition on, then you might have to look at another different one. While you're driving, play with the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Feel that when you're moving the wheel, the car actually moves, that there's not first a bit of play and then only movement. That will obviously be a sign that there is play in the steering,
And
already before even checking it on the lift.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the steering. We're going around corners and there's no movements and it's smooth, so that
Seems good.
That's
Yeah.
good.
The car feels good, gearing
Right.
feels good.
What should I look out for when I accelerate and when I brake?
Okay, so obviously acceleration, this is a diesel vehicle. When you give it a bit of fuel, make sure there's no excess of smoke coming out the back, like over fueling, and also obviously to check that it's what color smoke it is, then if there is any smoke. A little bit of black smoke is okay if you're putting flat foot.
What other colors are there?
If it's white smoke, you can get white smoke, then it might be rings or it might be a cylinder head gasket. That's signs of
Oh, right, okay.
Yep.
Interesting. Right, Jean, we're driving along, we're doing the national speed limit in urban environments, we're doing 60, and I need to stop, and I slam the middle pedal. What are the telltale signs that brakes are not up to scratch, up to standard?
Obviously, if you brake hard, if there's any sounds like any squeaking sound or squealing or grinding the worst, that means your brake pads are finished. If you've got the guts to go on a little bit of gravel and slam really hard on the brakes to see if the ABS is kicking in and the ABS is working. I don't know if you've experienced that. It's where it makes like a vibrating sound and you feel it on the pedal. The pedal like vibrates. That's a good sign. That means the ABS is working. If you on a vehicle like this that's got ABS, slam hard on the brakes and the wheels lock up, then obviously you know that the ABS is not working, and then that's concern to look at. So obviously while you're driving, let's say around 60, and you're braking softly and you're feeling pulsating on the pedal, that means there's a warped disc. A lot of times it can just be skimmed out, or replace the discs. That's not a serious thing that I would worry about, but it's obviously something that needs to be attended to.
Interesting. And usually you can feel it as well, because the car does a little sideways shimmy.
Yeah, you can feel that there's something not right on the brakes. When you're braking, it must be a smooth linear feeling on the pedal, and also the pedal mustn't fade away. Like if you're pressing brakes and the pedal carries on moving down slowly, then that's a sign of a brake master cylinder that's failed.
Oh wow.
And
you'd cover and test all of these at your Bosch centers?
We do so we do a pre-test drive on a service and a post-test drive.
There you go.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, a simple test drive can tell you so much about a car.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We already feel and hear so much on a vehicle. Like this is automatic now, but like let's say a vehicle with a clutch, a lot of people might be driving and the clutch might feel fine to them, but we'll immediately feel the pedals very hard. Then we know the clutch pressure plate is busy failing. Then we'd usually recommend to them that at soonest time to replace the clutch. Or we'll feel that the clutch is starting to slip or taking very high. We'll feel that on a test drive. Also recommend clutch replacement. Obviously nothing worse than getting stuck somewhere in town, in traffic, with the clutch that's just failed and 10 cars sitting behind you.
That's the stuff of nightmares. Now, specifically to this Hilux, this one's got the 6-speed automatic transmission. How would we know that this transmission is in good working order?
So automatic gearbox, when they start failing, they'll usually thud into gear. That's usually a first sign of a faulty gearbox.
So let's test that. So
Sure.
we go park, reverse,
smooth,
neutral,
smooth,
drive.
smooth. We didn't feel any thuds.
No, the car didn't go glunk
Yes.
or anything like
Yeah,
that.
so you feel like a kunk, then you'll know, okay, there might be something wrong with the
Nice.
gearbox. Or when you're driving, it either surges, it's looking for gears, it doesn't know which gear to go into, or as well, thud from one gear into the next gear. That's how you will know there's something wrong with the gearbox. A thud can also sometimes be like maybe a gearbox mounting bush, engine mounting bush that's worn, diff mounting bush. All of those bushes can also cause thuds while putting into gear. Obviously, the average, person won't know whether that's now gearbox or diff or mechanical. Obviously, our qualified trained mechanics will know the difference, and then we'll put it on the lift and check for mountings.
Nice one. And specifically on the Hilux, do you see many mechanical issues with Hiluxes?
Once again, we don't really. Their gearboxes are also very strong, robust. They don't really give problems. Yeah, mountings and those things will have their wear, but it will be normal wear. It won't be
Expected wear,
it will
especially
be-
if you're out on the farm and
Yeah.
lots of gravel driving on tough terrain.
Yeah, so I think most vehicles do tend, I would say anything 80,000 k's plus, even 60,000 k's plus sometimes. The control on bushes are worn out. Then you'll sort of feel while you're driving on an uneven road, you'll feel like a very soft thudding sound coming through the vehicle. Simple fix, replace the control on bushes or the actual complete control arms. Usually we recommend complete control arms because there's ball joints in the control arms as well that wear together with the control arm bushes.
Yeah, with your guidance in my ear here, I've been looking out for these on this Hilux and I'm not picking up any of it. So in my amateur opinion, I think this Hilux is in pretty good shape.
Yeah, this would definitely be a buyable Hilux, yes. Just something interesting on cosmetic look to, let's say now we're talking about once again a second-hand car. There's always the chance that maybe the mileage has been tampered with, the odd little, those things do happen once again in our country.
Sheesh.
If you get into a vehicle and the steering wheel, for instance, the finish of it is like completely eaten away, or the gear knob, things like that will usually tell me it's getting to the high mileage, like your 100,000 k's. So if you're getting to a car that's got 30 or 40,000 kilometers on and you see wear signs on a steering wheel or gear knob or things like that, that will also be something for me that I would look a little bit deeper into that. Check service history with the manufacturer to see that it was serviced and all of those things.
Nice. Welcome to the Bosch workshop, and this is where your vehicle will be well looked after, serviced and maintained. But this is the legendary Toyota Hilux. This is South Africa's best-selling model for over 50 years. Now that reputation has to come from somewhere. Do you know any issues of the Hilux? What are we looking for? What can go wrong?
I can tell you these things are bulletproof. They don't really have.
So you don't see them in the workshop very often?
Not enough, no. They are very reliable. They are built to last. But yes, you have to maintain them. There is certain things that you have to look at. There are things that I can quickly mention to you.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Quick preventative maintenance.
Okay, so if we can start here, brake fluids. So
Yeah.
brake fluids should actually be changed every year, especially when living at the coast. Maybe every 2 years.
A bit of rust or beach sand getting in there.
No, it's more that it's called that they're hydroscopic, so it attracts moist from the air.
Wow, okay.
And that basically goes and it lies down in your cylinders, and then it starts rusting them, and then it becomes expensive. Where a quick brake fluid bleed, a little bit of labor, a little bit of brake fluid, much cheaper. So you'll see this has got slight discoloration already. It starts becoming like a yellowish color and then brown, and then by the time it's brown, it's too late. You'll see brand new brake fluid. If we had to bleed the system now, you won't even see almost the color of the brake fluid. It's almost colorless. Obviously, look at your coolants. Make sure it's that pink color. If you're losing coolant and you have to top up with coolant. But if you're topping up, it means there's a problem on your vehicle. A vehicle shouldn't use coolant. A lot of people will tell me, how much coolant should I use? None. It's got a minimum and maximum level that it fluctuates.
And this one's good?
It's good, it's on maximum. So yes, it can do slight variations between cold and hot.
Okay.
But if you have to top up, there's a problem. Get it back to your Bosch car service. Let's check it out. People that buy Toyotas like to hit the gravel road now and then. If you're driving through water, make sure that after you've done that, a week after you've done that, take it back to your Bosch. Let them check your diff oils, gearbox oils, that it didn't suck water into the gearbox or the diff.
Ooh.
That will be catastrophic.
That's expensive.
That's expensive. Once again, quick fix, drain the oil, put new oils. Same with the air filter. If you did a gravel road and there was another car driving in front of you, that air filter is going to be dirty after that. Take it in. Sometimes it can be blown out, just to dust off with the air pressure. Otherwise, just replace it. Much cheaper than an engine. And if you did drive a gravel road, it won't last till the next service.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about things like the battery?
Yeah,
Is
battery.
that worth inspecting and having a look at?
Battery testing. Most batteries these days, you can't check the actual levels.
Okay.
So you check battery test with the digital battery tester. Another little trick of most vehicles actually that people don't know, the battery terminals like going loose. So if you look at this one, I checked just now, you can wiggle the terminal.
There's a little bit of flex and
it's loose.
Ooh.
So one morning you'll wake up and the vehicle won't start.
But it should be an easy fix with
It's an easy
a little
fix.
spanner.
A spanner, quick tighten up.
Perfect.
You can even do that at home. Be careful, if you over tighten it, you can break the
You don't
terminals.
want to strip
So
the...
preferably be someone that knows what they're doing. Check your battery before winter. When batteries fail in the winter, why? Because it's colder, so combustion isn't that great. The engine needs to crank much harder, and that's when the batteries fail. So once again, the beginning of the winter, go to have your battery tested, replace it rather.
So this is mostly preventative maintenance. So in your experience, the GD series of motors, the
Yes.
2.8, 2.4, they're pretty good. They're long lasting.
Yeah, as long as you change your oils and filters, all of that, they will
So this
last
is
a
more
long time.
about preventative maintenance. And you as a consumer, if you want to buy a Toyota Hilux, this is good news for longevity. Hello and welcome to another unboxing. And we're going to unbox all of... No, actually we can't. We've got to be serious about these. Bosch parts versus OEM parts. What's the big difference there?
Okay, so there's no difference. Bosch parts are manufactured to OEM spec, original equipment manufacturer spec.
Okay.
So it's manufactured at the exact same spec. And just to mention that Bosch actually manufactures the original parts for a lot of vehicles, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, VW, where they manufacture the ECUs, sensors, braking. So they are the original manufacturer of the original part. So it is exactly the same.
And Bosch represents most of the common brands found on South African roads. There's parts for pretty much every car.
Yes.
So if a customer comes in, irrespective of make and model, to a Bosch service center,
Yeah.
and they're using Bosch parts, chances are very good.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We're a very price sensitive market and cost of servicing is quite scary. And on your screen right now is the pricing for a minor and a major service. So pause the screen, take notes. This is critical consumer information. Now, Jean, what is the difference between a minor and a major service, specifically with a Hilux?
Okay. So a minor service would be basically just your oil change plus a couple of checks on the vehicle, safety critical items like brakes. Major service, you go more into your filtration as well, so your air filter, diesel filter needs to be replaced as well. If it's a petrol vehicle, spark plugs, that type of thing. Although spark plugs on most new vehicles only gets changed at high intervals, 60,000, 90,000, depending on the model. Basically, on a lot of new vehicles, you don't just have minor and major, you have different intervals of servicing. It's called interval servicing.
Yep.
So at certain intervals, certain parts needs to be replaced, but they must also be checked, because once again, if you did a dusty road and they recommend the filter to be done at, let's say, the 30 or 45,000 service, but it's dirty, then you need to recommend replacement. Then you still get the major service, if you want to call it that, where now you have to replace all your gearbox wheels, diff wheels, that type of thing. So it's all intervals, and we've got it all on our system, so we know at which intervals what needs to be recommended to the customers. Once again, if it comes to timing belts, all of that, it's all interval based.
We've got a good selection of here. Pretty much, I would say, are the day-to-day consumables. Cabin filter, I see. We've got a belt. What else we got? We've got some brake pads.
Yeah, we've
just
got
general car items.
Yeah, we've got V-belts, battery, discs, filtration pads, brake linings for some vehicles. Some of the new models don't have the brake linings at the back anymore. They've got discs at the back. This is a drop in the bucket of Bosch parts. I mean, we can pack this whole floor full of Bosch parts.
We'll do that for the next video. Now, in terms of time, how long can a customer expect to wait for a minor service and a major service? Is it a one-day thing? Can we do it in half a day?
You can do it in half a day. We always recommend to a customer to plan for the day, because your car comes in, we haven't seen it for 6 months, a year, whatever. You know, let us take our time, go through the vehicle thoroughly.
Be more thorough, yeah,
yes.
Exactly.
And then also, you know, once the technician is checked, the service advisor can be thorough, putting the quote together, recommendations. Should you do this immediately?
So not a rush process. Let's be thorough and take our time.
Yes.
No, I agree with that. I like that.
We get it a lot where customer says, please guys, quick service, I need it by 12 or 1 o'clock. We do it, great, but don't rush it.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, we've got the Hilux on the lift. John, what should we be looking at, both from a customer point of view and from you as a Bosch professional? Suspension, brakes, what can go wrong?
So, as a customer, I mean, you're not going to have a lift. You can maybe just stick your head under the vehicle.
The good old skateboard.
Yes. You might see maybe, like, you can look at the bolts and nuts that they've been maybe had some overspray. If the vehicle has been spray painted, just remember, if a car had a light bump and the bumper was resprayed and whatever, it doesn't mean the car's a write-off. It doesn't mean you shouldn't look at it. We have bumper bashings every day. It happens.
Absolutely.
What you can look for on the top, once again, maybe more for the professionals, to see, has the accident gone deeper? Like, was there real structural,
like a bench chassis or something like that?
Bench chassis.
Okay.
So we can see that is the chassis been painted? Then I'd rather walk away from a vehicle like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So what we will check, obviously, on the mechanical side, we'll check for play on the wheel bearings, on the steering. We'll check for play on the prop shaft. We'll check CV boots, are they torn?
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, any oil leaks, any coolant leaks. So
I don't think we've got any fluid
there is
leaks here.
Nothing here.
That's good. John, we've got the wheel off. What should we be looking at here on this Hilux?
So over here, we're going to basically look at the brake disc, the thickness. Does it have a lip, as we call it? So that's if the disc has worn in. So it's not only the pads that actually wear, the disc, the actual metal also wears down, and it creates like a little dish that will create uneven wearing.
And you'd feel that through the steering wheel as well.
Sometimes you'll feel a shudder
right,
if it's warped, where the disc is basically uneven. We look at the thickness of the brake pads to see if there's enough life to make it to the next service.
And how are we looking here on this particular example?
So this one specifically, the outer brake pad is on the thin side. I'm guessing we have a tool that we measure it with. We measure the thickness. We usually say around 3-4 millimeters. It's time to replace it. Brake pad also, it needs to dissipate heat. So when they get too thin, they can't dissipate that heat. So that's why we don't replace a brake pad when it's completely finished. When it gets to this thickness, we say it's basically finished.
Right.
It needs replacement.
And of course you have a Bosch part for this.
We do. We have a disc and we have a pad.
Fantastic.
Yes. We will have a look at the control arms, the shocks, the stabilizer arms. We can also through here look at certain parts of the engine, not only from underneath. We can see other angles of the engine here if something is leaking or something looks worn.
Nice one. All right, John, we're onto the rear of the vehicle. What should we look out for? I mean, my mind goes rear suspension, diff lock, exhaust. What else should a customer look for?
Yeah, look like a customer should check the spare wheel basically for pressure and...
No, we always forget about the spare wheel,
yes,
right?
and actual thread. Good idea is to have a spare wheel lock. In South African vehicles, once again, they get stolen. Then you might find yourself on the side of the road without a spare wheel at all.
Yeah, that'd be awkward.
Yeah. So you get spare wheel locks for them. On our side, we're going to check diff oil, the actual quantity. Is it full? Quality is the color of the diff oil. If it's gone milky, we'll obviously recommend. We're going to check rear brakes, also once again play on the rear wheels. We're going to check the leaf springs. We're going to check the leaf spring bushes, exhaust system, rear shocks. Yeah.
Nice. And this brings us to the end of the video. Jean, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate your knowledge and insights. I hope you've learned something about what can possibly go wrong with a Toyota Hilux. I certainly have. And for me, the takeaway is it's all about preventative maintenance. It's about what you do to look after your car to avoid being stuck and stranded on the side of the road. But hey, if you want to service your car, consider going to Bosch service centers. There are over 120 branches across South Africa. I will see you soon. Okay, bye. This immaculate Hilux has actually been sold to Wakini game breeders and will be heading up country to enjoy the rest of its life in the bush.
Let's find what moves you. Cars.co.za.
Hello, now I have been asked to tell you about Cars.co.za because I work here. Now on the site right now, you will find 72,000 cars to choose from, which is quite a lot. And yes, most of them are used cars. However, a significant number, many of them, an exact number of which I don't know and head office didn't tell me, but a lot of them are brand new cars and demos. So whether you are looking for a used car, a new car, or a demo, you'll find what you're looking for on Cars.co.za. Check out our mobile site, our desktop site, and our fantastic free app in whichever app store you use.